Don't progress. Quick long legs, yeah. Okay, let's welcome everybody. And then it's a Tuesday evening. How quick the month is going by. Is that the government of Ghana joining me with the coat of arms? Africa Bambala. Quite some interesting names on TikTok. Okay, let's do some music. Which song should I do? Okay. Okay, Coffee Keys, Lucky, Fredo. Okay, if you're here, kindly power tap on the screen for me. Tonet Yara. Okay. I recently went live together. Who is that? PM of 24, the Haxin, Pabna, Trust Doctors, Genfi. I would like to say welcome to all of you. Whenever. Okay, right. Thank you for joining me. Today's conversation is going to be very different. Back to our life improvement and life transformation sessions. So if you are here, it's a good thing to power tap on the screen. I've not seen any hats on the board. You want to show me some love by letting this broadcast go far. Okay, because my guest that I have on this evening is absolutely going to blow your mind. I'm going to have two guests this evening. One of them will be talking to us about properties, investments, making our monies go far. And the other will be joining me, and she will be talking about what we need to know as parents from Africa about safeguarding how the social system in the UK works, and basically just making sure that you are okay and you are not breaking any laws. But that will be the second half of the conversation. Right, I can see my guest who has joined me. Yes, I'll bring her on shortly. But if you are here, kindly do me a favor, mother of girls, power tap on the screen. I've not seen any hats on the board. Kindly power tap on the screen. Power tap on the screen for me. Power tap on the screen for me. And let's share this live video. Okay, let's share this live stream. Yes, thank you. I can see you doing that. Sweet gifted mix. Thank you, all of you. Let's keep it going. Let's take me to maybe 1K and then let me bring my guest on. I think that'll be a good thing. Whilst you're doing that, you're sharing the screen for me as well. Thank you. Okay.
How long do you want to do this revision for? Because when you finish, have you done your math tuition homework?
Maths.
Okay.
Do I even have maths tuition? No homework.
She didn't give you homework.
Yeah, so I'll finish. I'll do like. No. This one isn't the one worth 6 hours. So I'll do. Yeah, this one I'll be able to finish easily. So should I do the one that's labeled light assessment revision, and then do like
Are we talking about the same thing? You're talking about your physics.
Physics.
I said check. Have you not got math tuition homework?
No. So should I do this one, and then spend 20 minutes on the long one, and then come upstairs?
It depends on you. How do you want to do it? The most important thing is that at the end of the day, you've filled in all the gaps.
All right. Okay. Hi, people. Yes. So thank you very much for joining me. Let me bring on my guests, and then let's see how it's going to pan out. So thank you for waiting. Let's see. Am I going to have Lorraine on video?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Amazing. Now, I was wondering how I even get the video, so give me a second.
Okay, so what you do is, let me see if I can invite you to switch to video.
Okay, I think I found it. I found it now. Because I've only done my own personal lives and not done the people's lives. So I'm not a professional like you.
That's good. That's good. Well, but we are very fortunate tonight, I should say, because if this is the very first time that you are joining, a different live session on TikTok, then we've just made history by hosting you on TikTok for the very first time.
Thank you. Literally.
Awesome. But I'm glad.
Somebody else's TikTok. I've just done my own, and I've been new to that as well. So yeah, I'm honored to join a professional like you. And we keep postponing this as well. It's because I'm shy of TikTok. I'm shy of TikTok, you know.
You see, friends, you would draw your own conclusion if Lorraine is shy or not. I'll leave that judgment for you to make. But Lorraine, I'm so excited to have you on this evening's program. So basically, I do a couple of things during the week. Heavy, or the flagship one is the immigration that people know this channel for. That happens on Wednesdays, and it's basically broadcasted in Akan. And we've added Thursday to it due to the success over the past year. We added Thursday to it, so the English version happens as well. And on Tuesdays, we have a health session. On Monday, we try to talk to people who intend to travel. Have you seen somebody?
No, she's not shy. It's TikTok. TikTok makes me shy.
Who is that?
I don't tell me.
Right. So, Nyamidia, thank you, all of you. So, we are trying to reach our community on TikTok with a lot of life improvement, transformational sessions, things that would get us to move steps further. Sometimes when we migrate from Ghana, and especially UK and other parts of the world, when we come here, it's very typical for members within our community to get stuck. It's not anybody's doing, but you may lack access to the right information that will help you take certain steps. And even after you have settled here, at a point in time, it looks like you've plateaued and you are looking for new things to do. You are looking for investment opportunities. You don't know where to go. You don't have any idea. So I'm really excited that you, being our chief house, I was gonna
Oh
title
my
a time
God.
with Ghana's chief side
I,
hustler.
I put that name on hold for the time being.
But
Wow.
so people, Lauren, I'm going to leave you to do the introduction yourself.
Mhm.
For those of you on here watching us right now who may not know Lorraine, I'll let her do the introduction. If she misses any part out, I'll then add it because she has a tall list of credentials that sits with her. She's a big woman, and we are honored to have her. But you can do us the honors by showing your love for Lorraine by following her. That's her TikTok handle. She's not using a pseudonym, she's using her whole name. And you can see MBE by her name. It is not something she something she bought from the market. Is actually conferred on her by the queen. So please, let's show her some love by power tapping on the screen and by sharing the stream. So Lorraine, somebody is watching, meeting you for the first time. Who would you say you are to that person?
Firstly, thank you very much for having me. As I said, it's my first time on somebody else's TikTok. I don't even know what power tapping. I think I sent you a message. I said, "What's power tap?" I don't even know what that
Power
is.
tapping is it's literally to just when you touch on the screen, you see the hearts going up. So it means
Ah,
yes.
isn't that just
So what
liking the thing?
it's
Liking.
liking, but I don't know how it looks like they've made the algorithm in such a way that whilst people do that, it tells the app that real people are watching.
Hey, okay.
So it needs to be commensurate with the number of people that are on and all. It has its own interesting things to it, but hey, it's all well. And when the more hearts you have or likes you have, then it pushes the stream into people's feed for
Okay.
them to know that okay, this is happening, so kindly join. So you can see that we are climbing up now. So people, you're doing a good job. Please, let's take Lorraine to about
Power tap,
200
power tap, power
viewers.
tap, power
Power
tap,
tap on the
power
screen.
tap.
Okay,
I'm
good.
learning.
So
I'm
Lorraine,
learning.
let's go.
Okay, so yes, so I'm Lorraine. I'm a British-born Ghanaian. My passion is on the things that was mentioned, which was really around looking at how we can reconnect with Ghana, especially if we don't live full time in Ghana. So, what are some of the businesses that we can get involved in? So, I normally, at the moment, I educate the diaspora in terms of purchasing property and real estate in Ghana. Right across from how to invest in real estate, the things to look out for, access to diaspora mortgages, individuals that are looking to sell property, individuals that are looking to get into Airbnb without owning property, and all the above. I mean, I've done it all. I remember we've had discussions in the past around agriculture. So,
Yeah,
I'm an exec for I mean, this would take us a whole evening if we went to go through everything. But,
absolutely.
agriculture, allowing the diaspora to invest in agriculture in Ghana. I've been in the transportation business where we've had Uber cars and vehicles running for us as well. I've had a beauty salon in Laboni in Accra. So quite a few different things. And I've learned a whole lot from doing a lot of those things and working with Ghanaians. But aside from that, one of the things I love, and I have been doing for probably over 10 years now is investing in real estate,
Okay.
in the property market, and really around helping the diaspora to streamline the process of purchasing property in Ghana. So that's mainly what I do.
Thank you, Lorraine. Newsflash, people. She mentioned that she ran a salon. Let me give you one fun fact about the salon, which is Leonard. Is it Leonard Nails, right? Right. So if you know Steve Harvey,
Yeah.
if you know Steve Harvey, American, celebrity, broadcaster, actor, he's everything. When he went to Ghana, he did not go anywhere to have everything about, his grooming, nails, and everything done, but he went to Lorraine's, salon. So that should actually give you an idea of the pedigree and the excellence with which she delivers what she does. Now, Lorraine, talking about investing in property in Ghana, connecting the diaspora, what we need to be doing. I don't even know where to start from, but let's start from things to look out for. Right. Let's start from there. Having lived here in the UK, I don't know if you've lived in other countries I know you've traveled to other countries, but having lived abroad and, going back to Ghana to consider investing in properties and actually investing in business and a lot of other things. If somebody watching us right now wants to walk that road, what would you say are some of the things they should even start thinking about?
Yeah, good question. So first and foremost, it's the reason. You always need to understand the reason and why you're looking to invest. Are you looking to buy a family home? Are you looking to build? Are you looking to buy for investment purposes? Are you looking for a holiday home? So really, firstly, understanding your rationale, the reason for investing in real estate, because somebody's decision could be that, for example, they want to build a house that they can go and retire in, right? Or they want to have a property that they can go to so that when they visit Ghana for their Christmas holidays, they can have it. But it's really important to know what your reasons are, because your reasons will determine the kind of property. Because some people have the big idea that, oh, I need to have a 10-bedroom house in Accra, or I need to have a 10-bedroom house. But if you're only going to Ghana once a year, it's not necessary. Do you see what I mean? So it's really important to understand we call it basically your investment criteria. What's your reasons in terms of the reason why you want to buy property first and foremost? Do you maybe also want to take a hybrid approach? A lot of my clients right now, they take a hybrid approach. So I tend to work with a lot of people that are like digital nomads. So they work remotely, and what they like to do is they like to travel. And so I have clients that want to have a property in Ghana so that maybe they can go and work remotely from the property in Ghana, their apartment, and then they rent it out for the rest of the time they're not there to generate income, So some people have done that. Some other people and other clients I work with say that, look, I can't afford the UK. We can do an exercise. I'd love us to do an exercise so we can do some comparisons in terms of prices. So I'll leave you to guide on that. But generally, some clients of mine say, look, the UK prices are too expensive. So let's see comparatively what we can get in Accra or Ghana, more broader, that could potentially generate me something small. And at least I'm building my generational wealth. And I'm building some kind of assets, and I have assets somewhere if I can't afford the UK. So that's, just to give you an idea.
Right. Thanks for that. A lot of people presently, I think for the past few years, have really migrated to the UK, other parts, especially the UK post-COVID, with this skilled worker opportunity. A lot of migrants have come in, and when they come, they hear loads of things. First, they want to sort out their immigration, and then they want to get a job, or be subsistent in the job that they came to do if it's available. And then after that, maybe start a family, and then they want to look at investing, settling, getting a mortgage, as we call it. So still doing this comparison thing. If somebody, this persona, what will make them choose Ghana, maybe investing or getting a mortgage or a property in Ghana over getting a property here? Or let me put it this way: if somebody is thinking about investing in property, should they do UK or should they do Ghana?
Good question. So let's do with the audience. I need the audience to help me out, so you can be commenting here as well. Okay. So I want you guys to think about it for a moment. If you guys, wherever you are in the world, let's say you're in London or the UK audience, I want you to think about your capital city. So if you're thinking about London, for example, okay, in the center of London, the areas like Westminster, Mayfair, these locations, or if you're in the US and you're watching and you're in New York and you think about places like Manhattan, I want you guys to put in the comments approximately how much do you think it costs to get you a 1-bedroom apartment in the center of your capital city. So Asiodu, I can see you said you're in Ghana right now, okay. But generally, I want you guys to write in the chat, how much is it to buy a 1-bedroom apartment in the capital, the center of your capital city? I just want you guys to put that in the comment, just so we can do some comparative numbers right now.
Let's do that. If you're watching us, let's do that right now. So you want us to put in the comments how much a one-bedroom apartment will cost in the capital city that you find yourself. So if you are here in the UK, okay, someone says that most stores say that 1,000. Is it 1,000?
To buy, not to rent.
To buy.
To buy
Right.
it
So Maud,
in the center. I'm not talking about Croydon. I'm not talking about Enfield. I'm talking about the center, like Victoria, Westminster. Just have it again, you know.
Right. So let's go. Let's put some numbers on the board. Let's put some numbers in the comment section. Okay. Yes. Who is the first to do that? Let's put some. So if you're buying a property in the center of London, Mayfair, where again the areas
Victoria, Westminster,
Victoria, Westminster.
These locations
right.
are the center.
Please,
of
let's not be scared to put the numbers on.
Just guess.
How much do you think buying a property in these areas will cost? So let's put some numbers on. Getty, thank you so much. Getty Images, thank you for joining me. I want to appreciate Getty Images. As you all know, my dad passed away, and then we are getting ready to have the funeral. And Getty Images actually sent her some donation to me last week, and I really want to appreciate her for doing that. Getty, thank you so much. Right, so let's put some numbers. Where is everybody?
Maybe they do know. Maybe okay. Let's say, you know, maybe
we want you to guess.
Some people are shy of not knowing.
Okay. We have some number on the board. 500,000.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Okay. Let's go. 500,000. Yes.
Okay. Let's go with that. So that's approximately right. To get a one-bedroom apartment in the center of our capital city is about 500,000. A one bed.
Okay. Hajia 800. Hajia says 800.
Exactly. Okay. Keep them coming.
Okay. Getty says it will be more than £1 million. Yeah. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
You know, the reason I'm asking this is the area that even if you're from abroad and you want to know about London, you normally would go towards Oxford Street, you'll go to Westminster, you go to Trafalgar Square, you go to Mayfair, you go and see town, you know, the center of town normally. Okay.
Yes.
So now we've looked at the UK. I want us to look at Ghana. What is the equivalent location in Ghana? Put the locations in the chat. If you were to think about it, the tourists, the people that come from abroad and they're going to Ghana, they want to go to where the embassies are, where all the bars are, the restaurants are. You know, what are those? Put those in the chat. Put the areas in Ghana you know about are the equivalent of the center of the capital city. So put it in the chat.
Let's go. So if the tourists come to Ghana, East Legon Hills. Mr. Big says East Legon Hills, Airport Hills, East Legon Cantonment. Yes, East Legon. Okay, right. Okay. So we have some numbers on there. Okay. We have some names. We have some names on there. Okay. Good.
Amazing. I like interaction. We can learn together. We're all learning.
Yeah. Our audience are fantastic people. That's great. Thank you so much. Right. So
let's take Cantonments and Airport Hills, which are the locations that are pretty much central to Accra, right? Especially because you tend to find that they're where the embassies are. A lot of the expats tend to gravitate towards these locations. Right, Cantonments, Laboni, Osu, these locations. East Legon, yes, but East Legon, you tend to find a lot of people that also generally live there as well, you know. So when it comes to Cantonments, Osu, Laboni, these locations, now I want you guys.
Mr. Biggs says Spintex.
Mr. Biggs, we were doing our live last week, so you joined my live. So now, if we take, for example, those locations, how much would you guess a one bedroom would cost in those locations? So the same exercise we did to buy. So the same exercise we did with the UK, right? To buy a one bedroom apartment in Cantonments, Laboni, or Osu, also East Legon, how much do you think it costs? We can put those ideas in the chat.
So in pound sterling, right? Or in dollars or in Ghana cedis?
USD, or we won't go with Ghana cedis.
Okay, guys, let's do
Somebody
pound
will say
sterling so
old
that it's
currency or
easy.
new currency. Old currency.
Okay, 250,000.
Okay, keep the guesses coming. Keep them coming.
Let's keep it coming. 250,000. Cantonments 180, $200,000. Okay, right. Who else? Who else? Who else? Let's put some numbers on the board. Let's put some numbers on the board. Yes, let's take a wild guess.
Yes.
Or if you know it, you can also put the details on there. So
Mr. Biggs
these
knows.
areas, yeah. So these areas that have been mentioned, how much do you think a one-bedroom apartment in these areas would cost? So let's see who else.
Put it in the chat.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
Okay. So based on that, you've got a fair idea of that is the center, the center of our capital of Accra, right?
Okay.
It's approximately $150K to $200,000. You can buy a one-bedroom apartment. So if you remember for the London, and I'm not saying Ghana and London you can compare. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that when you get a one-bedroom apartment in these locations, Cantonments or Labone, the rental income you could get is actually potentially the equivalent of what you could get in the capital city of London.
Wow.
Let me give you a comparison. For you to rent out a one-bedroom apartment in Cantonments that you are buying for 150,000 USD, you can rent it out for $1,500 to $2,000 per month. Now in the UK, if you're buying a one-bedroom, you're going into a one-bedroom apartment as well, you know it will cost a little bit more. But my point is that you can get something cheaper in Accra and generate potentially similar rental yields that you could do in London. Now, you know, there are some factors involved. There, of course, Ghana is highly seasonal, especially around peak seasons like Christmas, Easter, summer vacation period. Of course, it's seasonal. But when you net it out comparatively, it is also a worthwhile potential investment, especially when you go to locations like that, if you're targeting the expat community. So that's just to give you one realistic example. If somebody's thinking about, okay, I can't afford to buy something in the UK. Maybe I can put the money in Accra, for example. Just as an example, I know Ghana is a lot more broader and wider than Accra, but my experience is actually focused in Accra. But when it comes to that, you could potentially say, look, I've got $100,000. Okay, what can I get? You can buy a studio apartment in Cantonments. You can buy studio apartments around Jolu area. You can buy a studio apartment around East Legon, for example. And then you can rent it out. And then maybe when you're traveling to Ghana, you can then go and stay in the property yourself, you know? So right now, according to Airbnb statistics, this is not my statistics, but according to Airbnb statistics, the increase in demand from last year on Airbnb's platform, for those people that are not familiar with Airbnb, a short-term rental platform that you can put your property on for travelers that are traveling to Ghana, of course, booking.com, other websites like this, right? And so when you have that, you potentially, Shiashi, somebody says Shiashi as well, these locations are locations that expats, you know, Shiashi has signature. You know, the signature, a lot of people are gravitating towards the signature apartments right now as well, right? So these are locations that if you had money, I know at Signature, they're selling a studio apartment for 120,000 right now. So if you didn't have the money to buy something in the UK, you could potentially, depending on your situation, look, I'm not here to give financial advice or investment advice, but depending on your situation, you might want to say, look, I'm somebody who likes to travel twice a year to Ghana. I'm somebody who likes to travel once a year to Ghana. I don't really have somewhere to stay. Let me go and buy something, invest it. I'll rent it out the rest of the time. And then when I'm there, I can stay in the property. Do you see what I'm saying?
This is enlightening. I know for a lot of us who probably have not been in the UK for a long time, you think this is far-fetched. But Lorraine, help us here. I know for those of us who may have lived a bit longer, a bit more settled, and are at the point where we want to maybe do some investment, we will connect to this easily. But so for someone who is thinking, okay, these monies that we are mentioning, 100,000, 200,000, 250, and I've just come to the UK. I'm now. I've even just sorted my immigration and I've started working. Is it something that I should be considering at all? Should I just, like they would say, oh, get a mortgage here and all those things and you are cool? Or should I look back to Ghana and if I've been able to raise some capital, sort of do something back home in Ghana that could potentially generate income for me. For somebody like that,
For something
what would
like
you
that,
just
everybody's situation is very different. So it's something
right?
that it really is. If somebody is just coming to the UK, maybe they need to settle in the UK for some time, know the system, get familiar with the system before you even start thinking about investments. You can start using
Okay.
accounts like, small savings accounts like Nutmeg, and these accounts that you can build in ISAs.
Nutmeg. Oh my goodness, this is the first time I'm hearing
Never
that.
heard of Nutmeg. So
Oh,
Nutmeg is a really good low risk platform in the UK that you
okay.
can put. So people know about Vanguard, Hargreaves, Lansdowne. These platforms are really good platforms. Even if you wanted to save £50, £100 a month, right? You can start to generate your interest on these platforms, and these are legitimate FCA regulated platforms that you can get in the UK, right? So we're looking to try and build it in a cash ISA or a tax wrapper. You can start to do that in a tax efficient way. Then you can start to build up your capital small over time. Because if you're going to get a mortgage in Ghana, the truth is they will check your credit history. They'll ask if you can even afford it. So you need to build
Okay.
up your credit report first in the UK. And by building up your credit report, okay, maybe you want to start getting the things you need to get in the UK. So getting yourself settled, I think, is the first thing you need to focus on in the UK. So I think for somebody who's just come in, it probably doesn't make sense. I'm talking more to the diaspora who are now looking to reconnect their roots. They're looking to invest. They're looking for some disposable income. That's the kind of person
Okay.
to speak to.
Right. That's very true. That's very true. So, people, if you have just joined us, my guest this evening is Lorraine, and Lorraine is talking to us about investing. She's a super connector when it comes to connecting you, the diasporan, with Africa, with Ghana, especially in terms of business, in terms of property, in terms of investment. She's seen it. She's been there. She's done it, and this evening, we are super excited to have her sharing with us some of her experiences and what we can do to make inroads into the property markets in Ghana. So, Lorraine, let's move the conversation to land. Right, I know that land is closer home for a lot of people. Most people, irrespective of how long they have been here, I think one of the things that rings so quickly is to get a land back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've seen you and I've seen content from you where you've talked about the things that you need to really, really know about if you have to get a land back home. So talk to us a bit about it.
Yes. So a lot of people come to me and say, Lorraine, I want to buy land. So a lot of the work that I do is I help the diaspora to purchase land, to purchase property in Ghana. Now, when it comes to land, it's a little bit more trickier, okay? Because we all know the stories. We've all heard the stories of issues, land litigation issues. One thing I want to preface this with is that in the court system right now in Ghana, the number one issue that exists in the court systems are land litigation issues. So
Wow.
it goes to say that you're going to be no different to making sure that you make sure you have to do certain due diligence when it comes to you buying land. So it's not just my there's a next plot of land next to me, so I want to go and buy it. I'm going to see the chief, and you just buy it. It's not like that anymore, right? Now there's certain due diligence one must do. Getting a surveyor is the first thing to make sure you actually now plot out the boundaries of your land. Now making sure you go to site to lands to make sure that you check the land titles. You're making sure that it's litigation free. Making sure that the person you're buying it from, even that the person you're buying it from, the Ghana card matches the person who is the seller. You get the indenture, you're checking these things. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of these things that you want to make sure you're checking. Are you buying the land because you want to do land banking? Land banking meaning that you want to just buy, hold, and potentially sell in the future, or you buy
Right.
it because you want to build on it. If you're buying to build on it, you now want to think about things around avoiding encroachment. So now, if you're going to buy a land,
Okay.
you want to make sure you're putting up a wall immediately. So if you're not just budgeting to buy the land and leave it there, you're budgeting to buy a land and to build a wall around it to prevent encroachment. So as Mr. Biggs has said, one of the most important things is if somebody has told you they've got land to sell, doing the land search is the most important thing that you need to do. Searching, making sure there's no encumbrances, no land litigation issues, making sure the seller who's selling it to you is a genuine seller and has the right to sell. Then you want to also look at things around leaseholds and freeholds, because foreigners and Ghanaians, there are different rules that apply to both parties, whether or not they can access freeholds or leaseholds and the duration in which it occurs. So yeah, there's a lot of nuances, but it's what I do day in and day out, and yeah.
I'm sure that if you are thinking right now, just like I am thinking that, okay, what do I do? What information do I need? Definitely, I'll get Lorraine to put out her contacts and you can follow her. I've seen quite a number of you doing that. Please, if you are here, you want to follow Lorraine on TikTok right now, DM her and she would be able to, hold your hand and then do some few things. But I'm sure it's not for free. We'll talk about that later. But maybe if you found her here, she would be able to do you a good discount. But why not do so? Because it will save you a lot of headache. Haji Aisi says that I think the northern part is more legit. Do you have any information to that?
Are we talking about like Bogatanga, Tamale? Which areas are we talking about?
Yes, maybe Bogatanga, Tamale,
Bushegu, like these locations.
Absolutely, those places. Places. Maybe we wouldn't think of them as prime, but do the land in some of these other parts of Ghana, do they value as much over time? Maybe not immediate, but over time, do they increase in value that you can say that, okay, is a good buy or is a good investment?
I think land anywhere in Ghana right now is seeing appreciation. Of course, it's seeing definitely anywhere in Ghana. I don't think there's going to be any piece of land that is going to depreciate in price anytime soon. So definitely, right. I mean, it's to what extent the land will appreciate, because especially in the northern region, it's very heavily agricultural land. Right, a lot of it is virgin land you're buying to build, or you're buying for business. What you could potentially get involved in is buying for farming, because the northern towns are very big on farming. So I think that could be an area to potentially explore as well. And of course, it depends what your connections are. If you're buying to build something to potentially rent out, you want to think about who are the locals in that area. Are there universities in that area that potentially we're going to build hostels for the university students? Or is there a hospital nearby that you can build it for the workers of the hospital? So when we talk about prime, we're not just talking about certain aspects of prime. We're talking about prime in the context of where the opportunity is. So you want to really think about it. A prime location for somebody could be buying farmland in an area where it's really great soil moisture content to build maize, to grow maize. A prime could be somebody who wants to build next to Miocho because Central University is there, So prime does vary based on your strategy. But yes, to answer the question in short, land will appreciate is to what extent the land will appreciate.
Okay. All right, people, let's keep on. Let's power tap. The power tapping shouldn't stop. I'm here with Lorraine. We don't have a lot of time, but I'm sure the time that we are here, if you have any question for her, I think I can begin to bring some people on the board to ask some questions, or you can put it in the comment section and then Lorraine will be happy to answer your question. This is your time to shine. Right. Lorraine, Airbnb, this is something that you have done. It's something that you've spoken about in recent times a lot. You even, at the beginning of this conversation, gave the statistics. Walk us through, if somebody is a lay person altogether, in terms of maybe Airbnb investments, where should they start from?
Yeah. There's two things to think about. So some people contact me because they have a property in Ghana that they maybe use as a family house and they're not there anymore. So they're looking at, okay, does a family house need to remain there empty? Or you've got your nephew and your nieces, they're not paying you rent. So maybe what you can do is you can now make sure you can put those rooms potentially on to the platform, which is Airbnb. And is a platform that a lot of people go to when they're looking to find short-term stays. So if somebody maybe is traveling to Ghana for 2 weeks, for a month, for a couple of days and looking for somewhere to stay. You're making your property available almost as a service accommodation, as a hotel. So some people on Airbnb, you don't have to rent out the whole house. You can even rent out rooms, room by room.
Okay.
So you can make your house almost into a guest house. So you can say, okay, in your house, you have 5 bedrooms. You can put each of those rooms onto Airbnb as individual rooms and make your house like a guest house, almost like a hotel. Okay. So these are things that you can do. The average, according to Airbnb in Ghana, the average per day rate, nightly rate in Ghana, on average, of course, it depends on where your property is approximately 70 USD per night.
Okay.
So you can potentially, depending on where your property is, earn about 70 US dollars per night on Airbnb's platform. That was from Airbnb, not from me. That's the average. Now, somebody who's just started, so maybe you don't have a property. There is something that exists heavily in the UK, and it's also going to Ghana a lot. It's called rent to rent. What this is that where you can take on somebody else's property. So, you know, in Ghana, you drive around, you'll see there's a property says for rent. The big signboard, you'll have like the red banner over the red and white for rent, right? Or you have seen that, you know, you have a next door, a neighbor, they said their property is empty. What you could do is you can tell and convince the landlord that you want to be able to take over the property and put it onto Airbnb's platform. So the landlord might give you the property for, let's say, 3,000 USD, 3,000 cedis per month. But then you feel like maybe if you pull it onto Airbnb's platform, you can make some more money, because people on Airbnb, they're coming from abroad mainly, you know. So what you can do is furnish a place nice. You can take some nice pictures, and now you've paid the landlord their 3,000 cedis, but you've now sub-rented it, and so that you can put it onto Airbnb's platform so you can make more money. So that means you now make the difference. So maybe you end up making, 5,000 cedis from Airbnb. That means you'll pocket the 2,000 and then you'll give the landlord the 3,000. That's another way in which people are now getting onto their Airbnb as well.
That's interesting, and I know that this is another area that you can actually handhold people's handhold them to actually walk them through. So if you are actually interested, and this is very interesting in terms of Airbnb, because a lot of diasporans, especially Ghanaians, we come work hard, then we build their houses back home, and you are here, you visit once in a while, the family members are on there, you are paying the water bill, you are paying the light bill, you know, even the sewage bill, you are paying for it, and any little thing that breaks, the phone call comes through that, can you send money back home? So if this is an opportunity to potentially convert, if not all the rooms, but some of the rooms into a profit-making venture, then this is actually something that you should be looking at. So Lorraine, we've spoken about a few things. We've spoken about the property, spoken about land, spoken about Airbnb, and I know you are heavily involved in all of this. Now we have some few minutes to go. If someone wants to venture into these areas, how are you able to assist them?
So I run multiple different programs. One program I run is where people are from Ghana and they're in the diaspora and they want to know how to get involved in purchasing property in Ghana. So I do have a program. So feel free to check out my website, which is Diaspora to Home. So diasporatohome.com. So that website, on there, you'll be able to see the various classes that I run. It's more detailed than the things we're talking about today. But also, I'll be running a free session to help people that are looking at the Airbnb. So those people that want to know more about getting into Airbnb without owning property, so rent to rent. So that masterclass will start in 2 weeks' time. So I implore anybody who's interested, feel free to DM me and I'll send you the link to sign up for that class.
Getty Images is asking that, can you please give us ideas on what to do on a land based on the location?
I think these are things I mentioned earlier on. It really depends, because if your land is close to a hospital, then I definitely think you need to be thinking about, okay, who are the workers? Can you build something that attracts the workers? If you're building close to a university, Valley View University, OUB, I have some land around OUB. At the time, I didn't even know what I was doing with it, but I realized Valley View University is on the same road. So you can now build hostels to attract the university students, okay? Or if you have a piece of land that is in an area where there are expats, tend to go towards. Maybe it's a place where it's close to the beach side. So now you can build like a sustainable holiday home type setup, so that a lot of people are socially conscious, sustainability conscious. I've seen recently some people who have taken containers and they've revised the containers to make them like luxury living, So people have
Right.
really done things like that,
I've been seeing those a lot. Now, Lorraine, with such kind of properties, you still need to purchase the land, do you?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of
Okay.
course. However, in Ghana, especially large scale developers, they tend to do JVs, joint ventures. So what they do is say, if I've got the money to build, I'll find a landowner. You can do a joint venture with them and say, okay, I'm not going to buy the land off you. I'm going to build the properties, and then to say thank you for the land, you have one of the, like, let's say you're building an apartment block, they will now own one of those the apartment units, so that if they wanted to, they can sell it, and that will be their proceeds for the land.
Right.
Some people
Right.
do those kind of JV joint venture models without having to buy the land entirely.
People, we are missing out, man. a lot of business opportunities are happening, and we are here. We're still trying to chase the pounds. When you chase the pounds, please think investment. Lauren, my final question um, would be this: we have a lot of people currently who are spending huge sums of money, right, to migrate to the UK. Doggy die. Most people don't understand good English. Please, can you mix the language? You see, Lauren is laughing.
I messaged you before. I said today is English, right?
Doggy, let them try. Let them try, because when they go to work, they speak English. So a lot of people are currently migrating in the UK, and some of them do spend huge sums of money um, with agents and all these people to relocate. Now, at the moment, there is this huge brouhaha and issues about authenticity of the CO, the certificate of sponsorship that some of these agents are giving out, the scams going on now. But you still have people who really believe that, oh, the only way out of having a better life in Ghana is to travel to a place like UK, and they're spending. I've heard figures £20,000. I've heard figures 15. I've heard figures 25, £30,000. So if somebody has such money in Ghana, such amount of money in Ghana, with all these models that you've discussed with us tonight, what can that person potentially do with it?
All the things that we said, I don't know of if every person I hear that comes to the UK after they spend that money, not that they say they regret it, they realize how hard it is in the UK. How hard it is. But if you had that money and you were able to invest it in certain things in Ghana, you can even increase that amount of money, and then eventually, then of course, then you're able to now move to the UK a bit more comfortably, So I definitely think that there's opportunities that exist in the real estate space, the space of agriculture at the moment as well. Agriculture is a really big one.
Yes,
Yes, I do. But I don't want to be oblivious to some of the challenges. Like,
absolutely.
it'll be remiss of me to not share that. Of course, there are scams that happen in Ghana. The city is depreciating. I wouldn't be myself if I was come and lie and say that everything in Ghana is rosy. No way. Even me, I've been susceptible to certain things. But if you're able to realize how difficult it is in the UK, then I think it's something you really need to seriously think about. Yeah, somebody
Think,
says it will
think,
take another 10 years to get that money back in the UK.
I mean, these are things. Wait, there are some few comments on the board. Let me see if I can go through some of them. Did you talk about how to purchase land? Very tricky in GH. Yeah, Junior. Yeah, Lorraine touched on that. I'll try and see if I can rebroadcast this on YouTube for you to have the content there and watch. Sherry, do you have Airbnb links? I mean, people are interested in coming to stay. So,
Yeah.
Lorraine.
Send me a DM and I'll send that. But you see, that proves my exact point. That's the reason why Airbnb is a model where people, if you've got a house in Ghana and it's empty, you're here in the UK and your house is empty, then please consider putting a room on Airbnb. If you want help on getting it set up, then please reach out to me and I can help you through my services to help you to get those rooms set up, to find maybe property managers so you can get it, generating you something so that you're not in the UK with an empty house in Ghana.
Right. Ed, you say you've been working since you were 14 years in UK and still not rich. Oh my goodness.
People need to know the reality in UK. You save up 30,000 in Ghana and you want to just
I mean, Lorraine, how long has it been since you kind of began staying in Ghana more?
probably since 2018, 19 thereabouts. That's when you guys were not seeing me. I was in Ghana all the
You
time.
see, I remember the conversation. I think the last time I really had a conversation with you when you were thinking about doing that was when you were riding. You gave me a lift in your luxury car from Intercontinental Hotel to Croydon. You are trying to remember after Guba, the last Guba that the former president Rawlings, may he so rest in peace, the one he attended.
Oh wow, that was before COVID.
That was before COVID.
Wow.
that was when you were thinking of relocating. I mean,
Yeah,
and you've
exactly.
been you've yes, you've been back to Ghana. You've done some few things. Now, one thing I mean, your time is up, but one thing you spoke about, I really want you to touch on it before you go. You spoke about investing in transport business, and I know you've done loads of video talking about how you got your hand bent along the way. Is this something that you're still doing?
At the moment, no. People reach out to me to ask me questions though, so I'm more than happy to share
Right.
my experience.
You're only happy to share. But if you give us in just a minute or two, if you talk to us about
Mhm.
maybe why is it that you quit? What inspired that in the first place, and what you think went wrong, and why
Yeah.
you decided
Yeah.
to back out, so
Yeah.
we can learn something.
Yeah. So the main thing I did was I purchased cars. We're from the UK, so we drive on the right hand side.
Yeah, we drive on the right.
We
Yeah.
drive on the right. So in Ghana, as you know, we drive on the left. So I went to purchase second-hand cars on the continent in Europe and then ship them to Ghana so that we can use them for Airbnb.
That's what it's on now. And use them for Uber.
For Uber and Bolt and Yango, of course. And now Uber entered into Ghana in 2017 and Bolt entered shortly after. And then you saw immediately the increase on people because in Ghana now a lot of people use Uber, they use Bolt to get around. So I was like, let me get into this market, So what I did is I purchased cars and then I got drivers to drive those cars. Now I've stopped that business, okay? Because drivers are not honest. The whole idea, the model is that the drivers will have to pay you a certain amount of money every single week. At the time when Uber first came, the drivers were paying us 1,000 cities every single week. That was when it first came. And the market started to become more and more saturated. So then it dropped down to like 500 cities. Now I think it's about 350 Ghana cities that everybody will pay
Oh
you every
wow.
single week. So if you're looking at getting a car, then you potentially somebody said not no true. What is not true? Tell me what's not true. Let me know. So what happened is that essentially what happens is that the drivers are supposed to pay you every single week. But the challenge I had was with drivers. It was drivers not paying you on time. They would tell you that their aunties sister's cousin is not well, so I have to use the money to now go and pay their medical bill. But is that my concern? You know? So these are
Wow.
challenges. At times when I'll go to their house, they'll go to the driver's house to know that this is their Ghana card, this is where their wife is. I even go to their church to get their pastor to sign as a witness and a
And
guarantee.
this were the due diligences you were doing before you employed them. And then they were still that's interesting. I mean, there are some comments supporting that. Social say that transport business in Ghana is very bad. Sincerity is far from some Ghanaians. Transport, yes, transport business is crazy. Ed says that she sold all her cars in the end. Okay, Ed, she's your train. Nana, if you have a counter, what do you call this? A counter story, you can share it. I thought about it too, but you need to find an honest person. Junior Freddy, I'm sure if you DM Lorraine, she would be able to assist you with some ideas on what to do and what not to do. They will collapse your business. Right. So actually, Ed says that she resonates with it fully because she has the same experiences as you. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Oh, Nana
So.
said, I mean, no tree from the side of the drivers. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nana, we understand you now. So,
Sorry, yeah.
Nana, thank you. We understand. And the road is very bad. Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
the road.
It
Maintenance
is
of the road.
evident. Yeah, it is evident from the conversation we have with Lorraine now that one of the key things you need to be looking at is property. And Lorraine, you have this masterclass coming up. I wish I don't know how to put this thing, some details in there for them. So if maybe
I'm just
we
writing
could
it.
type, yeah, if they can, if it's an email, how do they contact you?
I'm just in the information down now, so that you can sign up to join the masterclass.
Yeah, sign up to join the masterclass. Sign up to join the masterclass, and then please, I'm sure it will be extremely beneficial. The information will be invaluable to you because this is something that's it's not a short term. It's a medium to long term thing that you're doing that potentially would earn you more money than all the time that you've lived in UK. Yes, so okay, let's see. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, okay, so we have that on there. Good. Joseph, doing business in Ghana is generally not easy. The people you employ always wants to steal from you. Well. Okay, Lorraine, thank you so much for your time this evening. I don't know. Okay, you are muted. No, on the screen. Yes. Yeah, people
Oh,
ask. Okay,
sorry.
yes. Okay, you are back now.
You see how new
Yeah,
I'm
we
so
can.
fresh to TikTok. I don't even know.
You've done amazing. You've done amazing. It's been awesome having you this evening. So one more time, if anyone wants to reach you, we know that they can DM you. Please, if you are here, make sure you are following Lorraine on TikTok. That's her name. I always love it when you interact with people who don't use pseudonym. That means that whatever you are engaging them about in terms of business, you know that there is credibility to the name. You can find her everywhere. Lorraine, so you are on Instagram? Same
Instagram,
name?
yep. My name anywhere, just Google it and you'll find me.
Just Google it. Yeah. Right now, if I think Google, the first page is filled with their name. You wouldn't have anyone come up. So wherever whichever social media platform you use, LinkedIn, X, YouTube, everywhere, just
X,
Google
I
her
don't
and then
really do much of X these days. I
you
don't
don't
really.
do much on X. Yes. Okay. So LinkedIn definitely, and then all the other platform and Instagram especially as well. She does some live. You can catch her on TikTok as well. Do you have specific days that you come live on TikTok?
Is that what they do? Is that what everybody does? You have a specific day?
Wow, some people are literally sleep on TikTok. I mean, I've seen people do a 6 hour live
Marathon.
stream on TikTok, 7 hours, and they are on
What
TikTok.
time have we got for work and doing the things we need to do?
Well, for all you know, some of them, I think
work.
TikTok is their work.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
But Lorraine, thank you. We hopefully
for
we
having
would
me.
we would do this again. I mean,
Indeed.
maybe
Yes.
it will not be 1 year time, but soon.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Okay, bye. People, don't go away. I have Ivy coming up. We're going to talk about social. We're going to talk about safeguarding and the social system. Social is this social work? No. But we're going to talk about safeguarding. Don't go anywhere. I've heard a couple of stories